All right, the last part of this ring is to create a really interesting lattice shape up here. So we're going to begin by hollowing out the ring with a cutter and then sweep the surface for the lattice and then design the lattice shape and apply it with flow along surface. Okay, so let's turn off some of the extra stuff out here that we're not going to use in this tutorial. Oops, not that. This, this. And we can join this back up, join everything together so that it'll be a solid that we can boolean. Okay, that's such a pretty surface. Okay. To begin, we'll unshade the model and make sure project is turned on. Now with the curve tool, line, we'll just come in and starting well inside the finger rail, draw a straight line holding down shift to the location where you'd like the top of this hollow to start. Mirror this curve around F4, holding down shift, and then place an arc direction between the two to create kind of an arced hollow in there. Don't make it too thin. Finally, connect the ends of the curve and go ahead and join the curve up. Now this is an important tutorial because it shows you how to turn an object into a profile. So if we have a closed curve here, we can place a ring rail to have something to attach it to. Then we'll be able to place a copy over here and a copy up here using Profile Placer. First order of business is to select the object, and you can do this one of two ways. The first is to click on the Profile tool and input into the Profile tool. Okay, that puts handles on it. The second is to simply select any closed curve in the program and hit F6 and MSR. Same thing, just puts the handles on it. Now these handles are all in weird places, so you need to tell it E for edit, which gives you the edit points, but more importantly gives you this option in the command line called Edit Origin. So click Edit Origin and place the origin point right at the midpoint of the profile. This will make the handles act as they do in our profile placer. Okay, the other thing you need to do here, go back to the Move option with the handles, and you'll get the Select Rail Curve option. That also lives in the builder. Click on Select Rail Curve, and before you click the curve, make sure you change Keep Location equals Yes. That way it won't bump it up or change its position anywhere on the rail. It'll leave it right where it is, but associate it with that rail, which is a very nice feature. Now you can add another profile. With your Quado snap-on, you can add this other profile right to the quadrant of the ring rail. You can even add another one up at the top of the ring rail and size this up and scale it in a little because it gets skinnier up at the top here when it twists. And press enter when you're done with your changes. Now we can sweep the cutter using the surface menu tool, sweep 1, or sweep 1 history is okay too. Grab the curve and the 3 profiles on the curve. Make sure your seam points are correct and press enter. Okay. This creates the cutter. Select the cutter and cap it. Now you can Boolean difference it from the inside of the ring. Select the object to be cut and press enter, and select the cutter and press enter. Now we can shade up the model and see what we've done. And there's a nice hollow inside the ring. Okay, now into this hollow we want to place a surface that we can then unroll and use with UV curves to get an interesting pattern up inside the inside of the ring. Okay, to begin this, grab a new layer color that you haven't used yet, and in the curve menu, go to the Duplicate Edge tool. Dupe the edges that are just inside the inside of the band where your cutaway was. Press enter, and while they're still selected, click on Join. These will be your profiles. For your rails, we'll just use the inside edges of the surface. Click on Sweep 2. Your rails are these inside edges, polysurface edge, and notice it goes all the way around the ring. Your second rail is the other edge. And your profiles are these two curves that you just duped along the edge of the surface that was cut away. Press enter, and it'll go ahead and sweep a surface for you. Now you want to check and make sure you can't explode this. Good deal. That means it's a single surface, excuse me, not a poly surface, it's a single surface, and you can use it with Create UV Curves. So select it, and in the curve menu, go to Create UV Curves, press Enter to move past the option to select curves, and there's your UV curves. Let's put this in a job bag. Okay. Now you can do any design in here you like. I'm a pretty bad artist, so I usually find things to trace. And worst case scenario is I draw X's. So we're going to draw X's today. It's kind of up to you. You can draw any design you want. They could be people's initials, which I think would be very romantic, or anything you'd like up inside there. Okay, as long as there's no floating shapes, obviously, they won't stay. I don't have to tell you that. Okay, moving down, we'll select Divide Curve and divide this into 6 segments. Select the other one and divide into 6 segments as well. Now with the line tool, we connect the dots with your .0 snap-on. Very high tech. Go ahead and offset this to the thickness that you want for the pattern. Copy the pattern once from the point to the point. And before we move on, we're going to select the curves for the box because we don't want to lose these. Run dupe in place and put one copy on another layer color and turn that layer off. Now we can select all the blue ones and run trim. Get rid of everything we don't want in the pattern. Incidentally, while you're trimming a whole bunch of things, I learned a really good trick from our teacher in Connecticut. You right-click to end the command and right-click again to start it up. That way, if you mess up and you have to hit undo, you don't have to undo like 20 things and then do them all over again. Right-click, right-click. Always a good trick. Right-click, right-click. Right-click, right-click. I don't like messing up on trim. Get rid of some more. Okay, now the only curve we need is this one. And we're going to array this. Oh, sorry. I'm really bad at doing these. Did I mention that? Trim. Join. And we're going to array this thing 6 times. Using the array command. In X direction, we know we need 6. None in the Y and none in the Z. The X spacing is between these 2 points. And there they are, our little guys. We still have some trimming to do because, like I said, I'm pretty terrible at these. Enter to accept. Because we don't want anything piling up. So trim. And just get rid of everything in the way here. Join. We have some open curves, so we need to go ahead and just finish them off with and join. Hopefully these are all closed. We'll know soon enough. Go ahead and bring back out the curves on the outside here. And we're going to take the blue curves. Oh, all we need are the blue curves. Not the blue everything. And in the solid menu, we're going to go ahead and extrude this. The extrude command, straight option, and just give it a little thickness, enough to be created here. Okay. We now need to sweep the surface that it's on with a sweep 2 between the 2 rails and the 2 profiles. Okay, that corresponds with our surface up here. We now get to run flow along surface. Before you do that, make sure your Rhino history is turned on. Select the object to flow, and in the transform menu, run the flow along surface command. The base surface is the one it's on, and the target surface is the one it's going to. There it is. And of course we want to push this up into the ring. So we move it up in the surface and it moves up in the ring. We can turn on the ring and make sure it looks good. It shouldn't be popping through anywhere. We can even delete the cripple surface now and we can see the results in our ring. Don't you love it? Let's turn everything back on and see this ring all put together. Our metal piece, our gems, our pave, our prongs, and our millgrain. And that'll make a lovely render, and we've got also a lovely production piece to make for the customer.